Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Golden Hammer Gaming Season 7. I am Admiral, and I am joined by Unchanged. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to hopefully some good matchups and a good way to kick off this season.
Yeah, this is our first match being casted from Season 7. We have the Dream Team versus the 20 Ravens. 20 Ravens did play last season, whereas Dream Team is a new roster.
It's always interesting to see, a returning team, someone that people might recognize, or just teams that us as casters have seen playing this tournament before, and interesting to see how they're going to match up against a new team, and also very interesting to see how these two lineups are going to match up. I mean, we see the Mr. J running out on a Winston, but it's going to be hard to get much value out of that.
Yeah.
Looking at Fred running out
On
on the
this
ever-hated
Mauga.
Mauga. Always difficult to get value as a dive comp against Brawl in general, but especially against Mauga. I mean, that burn, the sheer damage output that Mauga has, if you bunker down properly, is just insane.
And there it is, Mr. J getting picked off. Mauga just burning through all of his HP. And of course we see the Pharah as well from Sound, which has just been played a lot recently in the high tier Overwatch. She just does so much damage.
Yeah, I mean the burst potential, the fact that she can play quite a lot of times heavily uncontested angles and just spam, applying that DPS passive on top of the Mauga burn. You're forced to play a hit scan to try and contest her. There's just a lot that she does to shut down angles, but very early swap, yeah, and an early pick as well.
Yeah, and it
Those
does
swaps,
look like 20 Ravens
yeah,
in the
effective.
zone. Will they get this final kill onto Sleepy Bear? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the big stagger there at the end.
Yeah, huge stagger, but the swaps, I mean, you see the Sig comp coming out, changing entirely how they wanted to play around that poke, and then unfortunately losing Ferris. Anytime your flex support goes down first in a Brawl comp, you're going to be at a very heavy disadvantage. I mean, your whole thing is wanting to Brawl and play close, and you'd lose all of that healing, all of that sustain. You're going to really struggle to actually maintain any sort of relevant pressure on the enemy team's front line in particular. And yeah, they crumbled from there. Well taken from 20 Ravens. Now it'll be interesting to see how these teams hold up, and a 6-swap as well coming out from the Dream Team.
Yeah, both DPS ults online for 20 Ravens, and they pop the window and the flux first. It seems to take down Ferris early again, and that will likely spell the end for Dream Team's push here.
Yeah, 20 Ravens again, nice early. I mean, they had the slight ult economy advantage, having swapped over to the sitcom the fight before, and they built their ults very quickly against that Brawl comp, so then had them to use early, and Mr. J used it very well there with that flux. Didn't have to pop anything else, and the rest of the team just tied up. Will be interesting though with this as Barrage at noon online for the Dream Team. It will be interesting to see how they can actually utilize it. I mean, if you get any sort of pick with Barrage, you're normally happy, and the rest of your team can then follow up and clean up the kills from there.
Ooh, Jar takes down, yep, that name, Woody, I guess, we'll go with. Oh, the Barrage takes down Nightshade and Ravage. That's the end for 20 Ravens, but they use no ults, so they will have 4 coming into this next fight. And
Yeah,
at
I'm sure
80%,
they'll be pretty happy about that.
that's a really good position to be in if you're 20 Ravens.
Yeah, 80%, you're nearing one fight territory. You've got, as you said, 4 ults online. Uruti, though, gotta be careful. The Tracer getting picked off first twice. It's gonna really delay the engage for 20 Ravens. But yeah, as you said, 4 ults online, near 5 now with the way Mr. J is building that flux. You gotta be fairly confident. The one thing you just don't want to do is you don't want to over.
Ooh.
Oh my
Picked
days,
off like
Admiral.
that.
Picked off and ult cancelled there. B finding a rocket to the face as they tried to enable that Kitsune rush.
Yeah, this close hold from Dream Team working very well. Just keeping them stuffed in this choke and letting the Pharah get as much value as she can.
Yeah, and with like the fact that there's no real hit scan coming out from 20 Ravens, like I said, Sound is just entirely uncontested on that Pharah. It's a Sojourn having to try and deal with them, which is not something you really want to
Oh,
see.
so many
Now it's a
ults.
heavy ult fight. Yeah, this is... We're back to OG Overwatch, and it's the ults for the Dream Team that look to be popping
On
off.
the
Bread
pulse
with a
bomb!
huge E on the Pulse Bomb. Nice use of the hands there to eat that from the tank. And, man, looks like the retake and the hold was so much cleaner there for the Dream Team. Just slight staggers from Uruti, really slowing down the engage timing for 20 Ravens there.
Yeah, they just didn't get as many fights because they just got stuffed in that choke for so long.
Yeah, and it happens. Like we said, that's why Farah is being played. She is so annoyingly oppressive at the moment. Really good mobility to stay, out of the engagement for the most part while still being able to apply damage. There's not many other DPS that can have that level of pure damage output and play as safe as a Farah can in this comp. But once again, 20
Mr. J back
Ravens
to the
rocking out,
Winston.
yeah, on the monkey. Looks like Dive is going to be their comfort pick here, so it'll be interesting to see how they try and play the rest of these maps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bread go back over to that Mauga if this dive starts getting a little bit too oppressive. The tank switches are going to be the key here, I think. Down, getting dangerously low.
Indeed, had forced the immortality out of Ferris, but as you said, Counterwatch is the name of the game at the moment, particularly on those tank rolls. Wonder if there's a call out that the TP was used from B on the Kiriko. Well, sure, once again though, it's the first pick from the Cassidy onto the Tracer of Uruti, and that will purely mean a fight win for the Dream Team. Not sure if 20 Ravens want to keep fighting this. They need to make sure they get out without staggering any harder.
Yeah, Bread did a really nice job that fight of keeping the Sojourn and Lucio off on this angle and just not letting them get any value over there.
Yeah, Sega, obviously one of the better tanks at holding space at the moment. The shield, the E, the damage that he puts out, he is great. Does have the stun as well from the Accretion Rock. Now you see, it's 20 Ravens trying to get some touching on point, but yeah, sound drops low as well. But look at the damage. The difference from having a DPS drop low to having your tank drop low, Admiral, is insane in the amount of presence you will have.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. J on this winch is just not really able to get a whole lot of value, just getting forced back every time he tries to engage because of the sheer amount of damage and like the Sigma is just controlling his backline, not letting anybody come in with him.
Yeah, like I said, you're just seeing Bread zone him off with a shield put behind him, and then the rest of the team, including like the Baptiste, has incredible damage output. So the spam, that's what this comp is the best at. It's a poke spam comp with the Sigma, and they're certainly doing that. It's one of the better ways to deny dive is to make sure you get that poke on them before they're able to close the distance on you.
Rudy does have this pulse bomb. We'll see what they want to rock it at. They'll probably need to force out that immortality field first if they want to get any kills with it.
You'd have thought so, but look, it's Uruti having to try and touch point to force the drop from Dream Team, and now they've got their blinks forced out. They forced recall. I mean, it's going to be hard to engage. Well, that beats one way to counter that.
Mirrored back by your Sleepy Bear. Pulse comes out. Oh my, and the Deadeye kills 3.
Yeah, that new Deadeye buff, I guess most people are calling it a buff. I mean, being able to move around in Deadeye often, instead of now being used as just a way to reload or tank, you're now actually able to move around, especially with the speed boost of the Lucio, and get the kills. And sure, exactly we're going to see in this play of the game here, able to do just that, get themselves in the angle, look, puts it from a safe place, moves around to make sure they get LOS, and an easy 3 kills there for you on the Cassidy. And man, window hadn't even been popped yet. Yeah, very clean fights. Dream Team on this SIG-comp looking very confident here, Admiral.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And even if they do have to switch things up, I think that if the 20 Ravens team wants to keep this dive up, that Bread will just go back over to that Mauga and just deny all the value.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Mauga is arguably better against Monkey. Obviously, Dive was originally designed to counter a poke comp. It's the best way of closing space. Poke often has some team members that are split. But in this Sig poke, the only one that's really split away from the team a lot of the time is the Pharah. And you're not really going to be able to dive a Pharah.
Yeah, absolutely
So
not. She can just use
diving
one of
that
her 3
core,
movement abilities to get away.
yeah, exactly. So when you're trying to dive a core that consists of a Cassidy, a Baptiste, a Lucio, and a Sigma, you're not going to get as much value out of a dive as you might expect to. It's still going to be very hard to close that space. Um, and as you said earlier, Admiral, Bread was doing an incredible job of denying any help with the dive by just zoning them out. Just, hey, you're going to dive my backline. I'm going to maybe throw a rock at you if I can. And if not, I'm just going to put a shield towards your team. I'm going to walk with E, and I'm just going to zone them out while my Pharah cast just pummel damage into you. And even if they didn't get the kill, they were forcing Mr. J to jump out every time. And yeah, there just wasn't the sustained pressure from the dive that you would expect. Pokecom just looked much stronger. Will be interested to see if 20 Ravens are able to figure something out coming into this next map.
Yeah, diving Winston with a Tracer and Sojourn Spam is, pretty scary, but just a lone Winston is not really going to be too much of a threat to a team, especially with the Baptiste, pumping out the heals. We do see the swap come in as, oh, we are already in. Okay, we move over to our next map, which will be Eichenwald. And we did see Spamilton is coming in for B. Spamilton primarily an Ana player, from what I remember of them last season. So we'll see if that assists them with this dive at all.
Yeah, B we saw on the Kiriko earlier. Obviously, first point unfortunately got that Kitsune denied by the Rock, but Spamilton, I mean, if you're going to play the Ana here, if that's what you're saying, probably the Monkey comp again, right? You're probably going to be looked to just farming Nano. But it's always hard to try and break through this first like Eichenwald choke point. I mean, this is one of my least favorite maps in the entire game. I've never liked the way the oppressiveness of that first choke point, or the high ground superiority of second. I always feel like this is very much a defense favored map a lot of the time, and man, the comps that the Dream Team seem to play, very strong defensive comps, very good at anchoring points, taking space, holding space. So it will be interesting to see, with no flyer online, what kind of damage off angles the 20 Ravens team can take to get pressure or get some picks to enable themselves to stay in these fights.
And the spawn doors open, and we do see that dive comp coming out from 20 Ravens. They do have the Ana. And the nade comes in. And it finds 2. This could actually be massive. Followed up with the Winston, but already taking so much damage and just being forced away.
Yeah, and you saw they immediately sped out the Dream Team. They didn't want to stay in there at all. It's a Pharah getting the first pick. Sound finds Uwuti again, but yeah, they got hit with that anti. Nice nade lineup. I mean, Spamilton, as you said, an Ana specialist, clearly knows their lineups, but it was just too far away by the time they'd sped out. There were still divers, like I said, just wasn't quite able to follow up and get the picks. But stuff like that is exactly what they need to do to be able to win some of these fights. They need to land antis, deny the healing from the bat, break MO if possible, and find anyone separated from the core of this team.
We do see Ravage swap over to the Cass, probably to deal with this Pharah from Sound. We'll see if they can get any value. They do get Sound relatively low, but doesn't look like they'll find them just yet.
No, you said once again, just so many movement abilities online for the Pharah, so many ways to reposition, but Nano built fast, Anti lands onto Bread and Sleepy Bear. And that's exactly, I mean, that's the win con, I guess, for the team. Just farm that Nano, get the Nano Monkey in off the back of a nade, and you don't really need anyone following up. He'll get the kills on his own. Now the rest of 20 Ravens starts to follow up, and, well, that's one hell of a way to break through first point.
Yeah. Ooh. It looks like Dream Team wants to try and contest this, but a massive nade from Spamilton just shuts them down.
Yeah, Anacom rocking out here. Need to find a way to try and deny those nades coming in. Maybe a swap after window from Ferris onto a Kiriko. I mean, that's an immediate shutdown of nade, but do they want to play counter swap, or do they believe they're going to be able to counter it and block it in their own ways? do have high ground advantage here for this second point, so obviously that makes it interesting. But Dive, pretty good at negating vertical advantages, so will be interesting to see how this gets played out.
Ooh, looks like Bread and Cher will drop down. Sleepy Bear following close behind. Ravage, though, was inside the castle, but gets caught out alone and gets taken down.
It did cost the window, but I feel like Ferris was always going to pop that window pretty early. Like I said, I'm anticipating a potential swap on next def. If not, though, window's still a nice one to just pop early. It's not often easy to get much utility out of it, especially against the dive comp that can kind of negate whatever angle you decide to hold with it. But now, while Uwuti is getting some push on this point, it's still going to be hard for the rest of their team to actually get much pressure onto this core.
Will we see the solo barrage onto the Winston? That is what we're here for. Here it comes. Bubble is out. This is the opportunity. Oh, but we do see beat from Nightshade. And 20Ravens looking to push in here. Oh,
but
and
secondary
mirrored from
beat,
Sleepy.
yeah.
And there's the barrage. Takes down Ravage. Still a lot of ults online for 20Ravens. They do decide to invest Nano onto the Winston. Mr. J taking down Ferris. But getting traded back from Bread. And it's just going back and forth as Uwuti takes down Sound.
It's a 3v3, but the cast of Ravage is going to get back first, make that a 4v3. But you're down your tank. Can you really reliably take space? Bread's still scared, though, because the nades from Spamilton are looking deadly.
Guy comes out, but it is not in a great position, and he does get taken down.
Yeah, I didn't really
Mr.
take
J
advantage of the mobility there. Didn't try to walk around, just held on that high ground. Looked like Cher just hit every headshot. Sound spammed something in as well. Spamilton gets caught out on the disengage, so that's a stagger as well. And they're set back up on this high ground. I mean, the only thing it seems Dream Team really need to be careful of here is a potential back cap from Uwuti, but I'm sure they will have their eyes on that point progression leader.
I think Uwuti might be looking for this pulse bomb. Oh.
You'd like to see that immortality forced out first, or again, it's just going to get immediately cancelled out with one ability. Dive denied. Nade doesn't hit. Jump in again. Dive denied. It's going to be hard. Like this, trying to take space and put pressure on this core is looking really difficult. Even the primal rage having to be forced out here just to try and stay in. But look at the chunk damage going in onto Mr. J.
And just as the lamp goes away, Uwuti finds the 2K with pulse bomb.
Yeah, primal forcing Immo. That's exactly what I said needed to happen. The pulse comes out and there's 2 kills. Admiral, this should be, even with ult being used by Bread there, that should be an easy fight win. I feel like maybe a swap coming out from Bread and just wanted to use the ult before he died. I want to hope.
Not yet.
No, okay, maybe he really did feel like he had a chance to turn that.
And I don't know that they can get out either. Okay, they do manage to escape. Great escape.
Well, if first point was defense favored, now Brawl on third, generally defense favored, although obviously Sound much lower ceiling to play that Pharah from. Look at Ravage running in, doesn't get the kills, forces Immo and gets everyone low, but Cher has a window and a high noon of their own online. Starts walking out, does find. Yeah, that's the pick they need. Now the rest of the team's going to start walking in to take this space. Ult's used. I wonder if we are going to see any more swaps from 20Ravens, given how hard it is to get a clean dive off inside this third point here.
Uwuti on this Tracer is still hanging around in the back line. Not sure that they'll be able to find too much. They have been getting pretty well marked by Sound.
Yeah, Pharah spam and Lucio spam pretty good at denying a Tracer's push from an off angle, but Uwuti looking to try and be annoying. Does look like they actually want to try and get close to the Pharah to force them out, but as soon as you start shooting, Sound knows it. There's a Nano Monkey again, though. Spamilton traded back, though, because Sound immediately, finds a kill onto Spamilton with the barrage.
Oh, the
Pulse coming out as well. He hits that. So it is
online
at the moment. Yeah,
team.
both supports online and your tank.
Sound hiding in the corner.
Take this fight.
Do they know?
Do they know they're there? Yeah.
It's like they know.
Now they do.
The beat comes out though. That could be very large. Faris takes down Mr. J.
Well, there's those defensive spawns getting the recontest out. Once again, though, the way 20Ravens open that fight is just a nade hitting and a nano monkey.
Yeah, that seems to be their
go-to.
Been
in like every fight. Yeah.
But it does seem to be
That's
working well
some OG
for
dive.
As we go into last fight territory. Not too many ults online. A lot of them were used last fight. Bread will build this Annihilation, and Ravage has already popped the Deadeye.
Immo, early usage though. Ravage not confident on the ability to just run in. I know you lower your damage reduction as cast the longer you hold it, but man, I feel like getting into an angle and being scary, intimidating with the speed increase is so much more.
Both tanks going down. Oh, a nice shot onto Rudy from Chair. Chair just going crazy.
Yeah, and the window. Share and Sound comboing. I mean, the target priority from the DPS said every time Sound hit a rocket on someone, Share was immediately there to follow up, yeah, with a cast shot, and it was just like basically a one-shot combo, but it was two shots, for just one from each of the DPS. People were getting blown up before they even had time to react.
Yeah, I mean, even still, if you're 20Ravens, you can't be too unhappy about that. You do make it pretty much almost to the end, and my audio has disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, getting right onto the border of capping third, when they were at a comp disadvantage, particularly on that last point, I mean, you can be pretty happy about that. It's all just going to come down to how well does Dive work on their defense. Can they get the same tempo and pressure onto that backline? Can they farm nano just as quickly to get these aggressive nano engages, or is the attack team going to be able to just slowly eke out space until they get the cap on point? It's going to be interesting to see. As I say, you do see 20Ravens once again out on the dive comp, and once again Spamilton looking for a lineup on one of these nades on Ana, staring at the sky. Not staring for no reason. Here's the nade. Gonna watch it. Hopefully it should drop just in time. Do they know their lineup? They do indeed.
And it's insane.
There's a 4-man. Would have been a 5k if Sound wasn't in the air. Yeah, that's impressive, Admiral.
Sound getting dangerously low. Woody really picking Sound out as their target, but not gonna get it as Cher finds some shots.
Yeah, once
Cher really just
20Ravens
turning it up.
Yeah, Cher is hitting shots. Ferris is feeling pretty confident on the BAP. Obviously, the spam from Sound is coming in quite consistently, and yeah, Uwuti is just finding themselves getting like minorly damaged by a Pharah and then finished off by a Cass in a lot of these fights, and that's really hurting the tempo of this dive.
Not too many ults online. That was a very fast first fight.
Yeah.
Cher as the closest with only 50%.
Yeah, I mean, an immediate dive swap from Bread, though, onto the Monkey, and Ferris now on the Kiriko. It's going to be interesting to see how their dive matches up. As Uti there looks like they followed up off of some nice damage from Spamilton to get a kill onto Nightshade, and it's Ravage's turn to hit some shots here. Sound on the Tracer, though, winning the Tracer duel against Uwuti, proving that they're competent on multiple heroes here. Will now be interesting without that Tracer kind of threat onto the backline, how quickly the Dream Team can get this engage off onto the high ground.
Yeah, a nice boop from Nightshade early in that fight prevented Bread from getting onto that high ground, which really, extended the fight a little bit for him. Hamilton almost to this nano. Ravage with the Deadeye. I want to see 20Ravens use some ults. If they plan to win this fight, they will not likely be winning this fight, though. Well, we do see Ferris go down, but that will be the only kill. That pulse bomb is a little interesting. But, you know, it's about sending a message, so... respect it.
Confirming the kill, yeah. Making sure they get that progress, get that last pick. But yeah, like I said, going to be interesting. Alts will be coming online predominantly for the 20 Ravens here. And that nano that they've used so early will obviously be something they'll be looking for. But can they counter-engage onto the Ana or deny the monkey damage? No. They do neither. Ravage finds a kill onto Sound, who was trying to find the Ana. And yeah, Mr. J pressuring in that backline. Pretty clean fight in the end.
Yeah, only using the nano, not having used anything else.
Yeah, you got to be pretty happy about that when you're looking at coming up on near 4 ults this next fight. But not far behind. Dream Team do have 2, nearly 3 online, and that Sleepy Bear beat is only about 10% behind, so they'll be catching up pretty soon. It's now all about just trying to take this space, something that Poke normally does, or that Dive normally does pretty well, but not so well when you're being denied by a Primaling Monkey.
A very nice job kiting this Kitsune. It's not going to get a whole lot of value on the side of the Dream Team here. The very fast Deadeye splits the team, but it's not going to find anything, and Uri gets that 2-man Pulse Bomb, and Brett gets the kill on the Ravage. That was very clean.
Yeah, the boot from Primal was clean, but the, as you said, the Pulse Bomb from Uwuti, a little bit cleaner. Mr. J then mopping up with a kill onto Sleepy Bear, and ultimately it is 20 Ravens winning at the moment. They certainly look to be a little bit more on top of things, understanding the tempo of this dive, and just winning their duels a little bit more consistently.
That being said, Sound does have this Pulse Bomb, and Sleepy Bear does have this beat, and not a whole lot of ults online for 20 Ravens. They used most of them in that last fight.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say, exactly what I was going to get you to point out there, is the ult advantage, but it's shared. No ult needed, just hitting shots on Uwuti. Now Sound gets that pulse in, notably nothing in the way of an Immortality or a Suzu to deny it from 20 Ravens. That gets a kill, and yep, 1 pick, 2 pick, 3 pick, 4. They don't need any more. They're just going to cap the point here. Very clean again from the Dream Team. And not even needing to use Sleepy Bear's beat, so still have that in the reserves to maybe counter the Primal or the Nano Monkey that's sure to come out soon.
Sound and Bread going back to spawn, swapping back to that Ram Farrakhan for this 3rd point.
Hey, they feel like Brawl's what they can get the most value out of here. I do like the swaps from Dream Team. I mean, they certainly seem to have, shows that they have a plan in place for each of the objectives on this map.
Yeah, that's always good to see. Woody going on the flank again.
Nightshade down to 1. That swapped over to the Brig. Isn't going to get much value out of the Brig though, because there's no longer a dive coming at you, so you're protecting the Ana from nothing, just kind of face tanking.
Oh, and Uwuti getting picked first. Beat comes out
the new
along with the Deadeye, and it's speeding around. Doesn't find anything, but it sure looks cool.
It's very fun watching Cass just run around in high noon. I mean, he did get Mr. J low, forced that Primal out, and then they immediately bursted him down once again. Ravage trades 1 kill onto Ferris, but too little, too late. Yeah, with that boot, certainly is. Dream Team, they look well coached right now. That looked pretty confident. That's a 2-0 map advantage, and they had a different setup for each point. They immediately knew what to swap to. I mean, looks like things are going well for them so far.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see, as you said, those swaps shows that they do have a plan. They know what they're doing from the beginning. And even when things go wrong, they seem to be able to adapt to it rather well.
Yeah, and adaptation is the key. Like you said, swaps and adaptation. That is a big part of what Overwatch 2 has become. You can kind of brute force some things. Mechanics obviously still important. Ultimately, whoever hits the most shots are often going to be the one to win. But good, smart team play, good swaps, understanding of maps. I feel like knowledge is always so important in team play in particular. And it seems to be, Dream Team favoring, that swap, that understanding the Overwatch 2 win mentality just seems to be working a little bit better for them. And yeah, like I said, they're just adapting. Whereas, unfortunately, as we saw at the end there, when 20 Ravens did try and adapt and thought they were going to deny the dive, swapping over onto the Brig, it actually ended up being a hindrance to them because they didn't check whether any swaps were coming out from Dream Team, swapped Brig into a Brawl, and lost that utility that they might have had from their speed previously.
Yeah, and having that brig, I mean, it as you said, it got very little value. I don't think their ult charge really went anywhere because they weren't able to keep anybody alive, and they weren't able to really deny any value, so they just ended up sort of just existing on the map.
Yeah, and main support is often the just exist role, farm ult, exist, be annoying, but it was the lack of being annoying part that 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 20 Ravens then had with that brig. But I mean, moving now over to New Junk City, this is a map that again kind of opens itself to a lot of the different comps as uh realistically uh rush this style of map does. You can play brawl on most of the points. You can play dive. You can play poke. It kind of opens itself up to all of them depending on which point you're fighting. I wonder if we're going to see something of a more consistent comp from the Dream Team, if they're just going to run one comp through the whole map, or if we're going to see point specific comps for them coming out here.
Yeah, I do feel like on New Junk City, you're gonna see, Brawl have a little bit of an advantage just because being able to just
Mhm.
brute force your way through all of these choke points is just so beneficial. And you can just speed right in onto the back line and just wipe them out.
Yeah, well, it's basically each objective is basically its own miniature Koth map. So,
Yeah.
like I said, being able to rush brawl is generally the favor on most Koth maps, unless you're talking about something like Oasis. So yeah, I understand. I mean, look, so far like both teams are understanding that that is what's going to be favored. Slight poke from 20 Ravens with the Sig, but Sig arguably still a brawl tank a lot of times, and particularly in a comp like this. But the brawl of all brawls, the fastest kind of comp, most aggressive comp in the game, other than maybe Junker Queen, the Mauga coming out here from Dream Team. No one likes it, but it's a good comp, Admiral.
Yeah, definitely. Although I will say I actually do enjoy playing the comp, and yes, I am a Pharah player, but I think the Mauga this time around has been a lot more, I don't know, coordinated. It's not just Mauga can run in
Less of
and
a
do
solo
whatever he
carry.
wants, yeah. And we do
Very
see
true.
B
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
back in onto the Kiriko, not wanting to run that Ana, so I do think we'll see a little bit less dive this game.
yeah, I mean, Kiriko obviously great into dive. I mean, Baptiste is often the tank you see get played a lot with the Sigma, particularly if you're not going to run the Pharah, because Kiriko is played in this comp so that you can heal the Pharah more easily at times. Baptiste obviously not going to be hitting many mid-air shots, but you know who is hitting shots again? It's Cher.
Share.
Man, this guy knows how to open up fights, just headshot after headshot, getting kills. But Sam going a little bit too aggressive does mean there's space for 20 Ravens to push back in here at the moment.
Faris did a great job there of recognizing that Bread was forcing the enemy team from 20 Ravens backwards, and then just sat back and hit some shots on the Tracer and took her out of the fight real early. But a very nice kite and re-engage from 20 Ravens will get them this point. And because they did get that first cap, they already are at the same amount of percentage that Dream Team was at from winning the fight.
Yeah, like I said, winning that fight, but losing on the percentage, not exactly what Dream Team would have wanted to see. Now they swap, there are an ult disadvantage, as I was about to point out, and there is those ults coming in, and they do find the damage to back it up. Uwuti and Mr. J finding those picks onto Cher and Bread, and now they're looking to aggressively take space, but what they don't want to do is push too far, because that's exactly what Dream Team just did, as you said very well. They kited away, forced the Pharah into an enclosed space she didn't want to be in, and that's how they won last time. Now they have the space. Can 20 Ravens keep holding it against this consistent damage from the Pharah comp?
Yeah, Woody does have this pulse bomb. A lot of ults online actually for 20 Ravens. We do see the Kitsune come out from B. And Dream Team unable to cap. Or even touch the point. Although we do see ults still being invested into this fight despite the point being no longer unlocked.
Yeah, stagger kills, I guess. I mean, everyone should be able to group for the next point. So, like I said, maybe not the best time to pop a light ult there from someone like Ravage popping that high noon at the end of that fight. But be nice aggressive use of the Kitsune Rush, as you said, kind of forced the off-angle rotation from Dream Team, and like sort of denied the touch entirely. They just weren't able to get out of that Kitsune and 2-point in time. Will be interesting to see if they can play that aggressively again here with, like I said, the post bomb online.
Really getting taken down by the nice rock, yeah. Window does come out from Ferris. They don't really need to use it too much.
Back, though.
Yeah. Okay, the Deadeye comes out from Cher. We'll be able to walk around this shield. Will they find anything so fast? And it does take down Mr. J. The barrage comes out as well. That may be an overcommitment. They do use 3 ults there, and nothing coming out on the side of 20 Ravens. Actually, they did use Pulse Bomb at the beginning.
Yeah, they used Pulse at the beginning. We got, like I said, immediately rocked to the face. That accretion hit clean. Having your Sleeping Bears beat, though, I mean, that should be enough to sustain whatever comes in here. You can kind of sustain through the Graphitic Flux of Mr. J. That's the closest thing to being built here. But if B builds their Kitsune Rush fast, then you have nothing to really counter it. As, yeah, they did indeed pop pretty much all of their ults.
B keeps them all alive. Ravage kind of off on their own. But no one really helping Sound out there. Sound goes down, but Cher finds 2 more.
Yeah, it seems to be you shut down one of the DPS for the Dream Team, another will find a way to get kills. Just feel like I said, a slight misuse of ults, but it wasn't punished hard enough as there weren't any to follow up, and Nightshade didn't pop their own beat to mirror. Once again, I feel like it's going to be hard for anyone to touch. It's going to be down to Ubuti, and nope, they back out. They didn't even want to bother trying. Yeah, they're going to play for next. It's understandable. I mean, it's 1 point apiece. You don't want to be staggering too hard. It's always nice to get yourself set up on the objective, particularly with this Sigma comp. But once they figured out what to deny, it feels like the damage of the Farah comp is still just so oppressive, and the healing of the Baptiste is just so strong on that front line.
So Bread is going to open this fight with Flux, and then we're going to see Nightshade use Beat, and then the fight can actually begin.
Yeah, but talking about the fight beginning, I mean, once those ults are swapped out, feels like it's going to be pretty... No, it's Beat. Actually, there you go. Breaking the script here.
I see.
Proving we don't know what's going to happen.
Ooh, Sound going in through the window, finding 2 kills, finding 3 kills.
Yeah, I mean, the early Kitsune is a nice idea, but I agree with you. I feel like the best case would have been to poke out, try and get Bread to use the Flux first, and then counter-engage with a Beat and a Kitsune, but instead, they're opting to swap to a dive here. Mr. J, I don't know how well this is going to do. I feel like they're just going to get spammed out by this Farah and find it hard to sustain and engage once again.
Especially with this, you know, giant ult advantage on the side of Dream Team with 4 ults compared to only the 3 from 20 Ravens here. And I dare say that Flux, Barrage, and Window are better ults than Deadeye and Pulse Bomb.
Often are. There's the rare boot kill from Sound on the Farah. The ult barrage coming out as well. Ravage does find Ferris, but I think it might be a little too late. Look how late this objective is. It's going to tick over. B's going to touch, but immediately die, and it doesn't look like anyone else is going to respawn in time to touch. So 2-1, last 2 points in favor of the Dream Team, looking to try and get this 3-0 sweep on maps. Not going to get a 3-0 sweep on points here, but
Dream Team doing a great job with their ult economy, even it's still having 3 ults here almost every fight. Just cycling them very, very well.
Yeah, they've gotten into that flow state once again that we've seen on the previous maps here. They seem to be Rotating, as you said, very well, denying the monkey dive. Here is that window early. Pulse bomb out, doesn't hit. Sound does, though. As I said, burst down Mr. J's monkey. No fear whatsoever from the Farah. And now a reset here, quick and early. Not quick enough, though, from Nightshade. Gets slightly staggered. Kiriko still in as well, and Sound finding that kill. Man, these staggers are going to hurt.
And once again, only using one ult, and with that, almost building Sound's barrage back. I mean, it's just consistent flow of ultimates. There's really just... It's going to be really hard for 20Ravens to break through this unless they can start building some ults.
It is indeed. You almost need to sacrifice a fight, you know, sack around, as you would say in some of the other games. Play an econ, go in light, whatever you want to say. Just play to build up ults. Back it out and try and see if you can bait any of the ults out from Dream Team. But Dream Team, not a team that are looking so far to be easy to bait ults out of.
Yeah, now with this time on the clock, with the way the flashpoint percentages work, this is last fight. And Mr. J going down. Barrage is online for Sound. Still have beat from Sleepy Bear. Oh, Sound getting two-tapped by B.
Yeah, nice headshots from the Kiriko, but it's not going to be enough. They
Anyone
know the
going to be
Lucio, they
able
can
to
hear.
touch?
I mean, they hear Nightshade. They're going to get the touch, but
B is here.
TP in from B. They're
And
going to
Mr. J's
sustain.
here.
Monkey's back.
They have the primal
Okay.
online.
They do indeed. They're going to be able to definitely sustain through this
B
point.
is
This is
getting
whether they can get
dangerously
some
low,
kills.
but they
There we
take down
go.
Sleepy Bear. Primal comes online.
That's it, 20
Being
Ravens.
used. Get Share
Get
caught
on
in the
those-
corner, but the Sound solo barrage. I told you it was going to happen. I was just on the wrong
It's
map.
going to happen eventually. I mean, yeah, but it's getting traded. I mean, look, Ferris and Bread are still alive. The support tank
Oh,
duo.
and the
He
Sig
fucked them off.
9.
That was enough to not touch the Sig 9. No, Admiral, that's a heartbreaking way to lose a map there.
It is. And Sound. Did Sound get play the game on every map?
No, Cher got first map,
Cher
right?
got
With
the first
the,
map.
the 3K noon.
And this was these staggers that really hurt them on this third point here. Well, for fourth
Yeah, it
point.
was. Not having TP up, just getting directed by a rocket. Yeah, I mean that's what really hurt the chances of 20 Ravens getting a recontest and a clean engage. And like you said, that's also what heavily built up the next set of ults for the Dream Team. And man, they played that about as well as you could have played that for a team at this elo. Very
And
happy.
Sleepy Bear saying thank you for Scrim. Ah, yes. Hmm.
Casting scrims now, are we?
I guess. Good Scrim, guys. Good Scrim.
What
Yeah, I don't think I actually have permission to drag people in here, and also they all left, so I'm not sure that we can do an interview, but I will let you give out the golden hammer. Who do you think should be the player of the match for the Dream Team this go around?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of people that would expect it to be given to Cher or Sound for the sheer amount of damage they were outputting, but the only reason they were able to output that damage, in my opinion, was the very clean and tidy tank play from Bread. Got the Sig 9 at the end as well, had all of the swaps. It was the big part of that counter swap play that I mentioned they were kind of playing into the way that Overwatch 2 is played. And yeah, I don't feel like Cher and Sound are able to get quite the same utility out without Bread denying pretty much every engage from Mr. J, zoning him out, zoning off that backline, and just tanking efficiently, which ultimately then enables the rest of your team to do what they got to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like we were saying on that first map, even when, you take the Sig and you go after their backline to prevent anybody from following up on the Winston engage, just small things like that just keep the fight in favor of your team. And maybe it's not as flashy as, Cher clicking all the heads, but it does do a lot for your team winning that fight.
Yeah, it does indeed. Tank, one of the most important roles in team play, and often one of the least loved roles. I mean, there's not a lot of times, particularly in this kind of amalgam meta recently, where the tank is making massive plays. Your tank is predominantly playing just to hold space, just to sustain, just to absorb
Stay alive.
damage and enable. Yeah, the job is stay alive. The job isn't make plays at the moment. So I know there's a lot of tank players frustrated with the current playstyle, but Bread didn't seem to be at all. Bread seemed to be on top of his game and just doing exactly what a tank needs to do. And I feel like that needs to get the shout out it deserves.
Yeah, no, I would 100% agree with you there.
Other than
Um,
that, just an excellent game from the Dream Team. I mean, living up to the name at the moment.
yeah, I am excited to see what they can do in the future. I will say I have a little bit of insider information. It was me that encouraged them to play GHG. So I do know some of their
Nice.
players a little bit. Sound actually used to play for my team. And he sort of put together this roster. So, I have some insider information. But yeah, no, I've never actually seen them play together. So it was good to see them, doing well.
It's nice to hear. I mean, always good to get new people involved or existing people involved with new teams. And yeah, nice to have someone returning, but showing up in their own way with their own team. Will be interesting to see what they can do for the rest of the season. Do they continue to live up to the hype? Obviously, no one wants to be that guy that like after a game on a Sunday shows up on Monday with a little bit too much hype from week one of a season. This is a long season. They've got plenty of matches still to go, and there's plenty of other teams that will be looking to show their own strengths throughout the rest of the season. And talking about matches, I don't believe that this is our last one for tonight, is it, Admiral Kane?
No, we will have one more match after this between the Coffee Kitties and the Kevin Fan Club. Kevin Fan Club did play last season. I want to say they did fairly well, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And the Coffee Kitties are new. I have not seen anything from them before.
Incredible name though. I'm glad they
Yeah,
kept it to
no, I do like Coffee
just
Kitties.
yeah, it's a good name.
They have
Coffee
another
and
team
Kitty sounds like
playing.
it sounds like an incredible name for a cat cafe.
Yeah, I've never actually been to one, but I've wanted to for a while.
I'm allergic to cats, so same.
Oops.
But I appreciate the cuteness from afar.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm a cat enjoyer myself. So, but yeah, we will go ahead and take a quick break until we come back. It should be in just about 10 minutes here. I already actually received an invite from the players, but I doubt that they're about ready to start the match yet. So we will go ahead and take a quick break, and be back in about 10 minutes. We will see you then.
Bye.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Golden Hammer Gaming. This is our second match of the night. We have the Kevin Fan Club and Coffee Kitties. I am joined by Unchanged as well as Yano, who decided to finally show up.
Well, I come and go. You know, I'm just an enigma sometimes, but I'm happy to be here.
Wait, it's Mr. GHG himself.
Mr.
Oh my God.
GHG.
No, I can never take that actual title. That's Brugga, because he money rolled everything in the beginning.
Okay.
Which you've never met Brugga, so it's okay.
I have
You make
not.
fun of
Yeah, neither have I.
I don't know. I'm going to talk about two teams who have two of my favorite names in the tournament. I've scrolled through to see if there are any other contenders. There are a couple, but Coffee Kitties, cute, even if I'm allergic to cats, love it. And Kevin Fan Club, comedy, that also their main tank's Discord is Carl Weezer, which is equally humorous. But instead of that, let's talk about the comps here, Admiral, looking at Dive coming out from both teams, but a slight variation. We have Diva versus Monkey. Always interesting to see which one plays out better. Obviously, Monkey a bit more damage, Diva a bit more sustain.
The big guy going in on Liquid Duck. And yeah, it seems that Winston is...
It's hard. I mean, Diva is a sustain tank, but Diva does nothing to sustain through Winston because you can't eat electricity. You just take it to the face, and that's big guy FC18, Mr. Carl Weezer himself on the Monkey. Incredible name both times. Just, yeah, getting a little bit more value out of the tank so far.
That being said, Diva did get a few buffs recently, so, you know, she is doing a little better these days in terms of the strength of the character. But big guy still just going ham in the backline. Takes down the same two people. And the Genji follow-up from Senpai. And that's the end of the fight. Kevin Fan Club on a roll so far.
Yeah, quick and clean. Like I said, taking out the same people. I mean, acknowledging who are the weakest targets against Dive, who they could maybe blow up the fastest when targeted, and they've done just that. And first ults online heavily in favor, looking at 3, nearly 4 popping up online for Kevin Fan Club, and it seems like that should mean a pretty easy fight win in this next fight, provided they don't waste or, you know, use too many.
Liquid Duck does swap over to the Cass, probably to try and not, you know, get slaughtered by Winston in the first 2 seconds. Oh, but it does not help. John Joe going into the back line. Did you see the Kitsune, the Primal? A lot of ults coming out from Kevin Fan Club. But this is the most not one-sided fight that we've seen yet. In fact, it looks like Coffee Kitties might be winning. The Kitsune comes out from, that name. Woos? Yeah.
Wooks.
Wooks.
Wooks with
All
the,
right, we'll go with it.
I'm gonna go for it, yeah. Wooks. Yeah, I mean, it was a very good Kitsune rush. The whole team was able to utilize it really well. They stayed in it for all of that fight, but it's immediate, pretty much last fight territory. I mean, Coffee Kitties lose a single fight here. They are likely to lose this point, but they do have a pretty nice bank of ults, and I mean, the only one that's actively online for Kevin Fan Club is Blade, which is notoriously one of the worst ults in the game, especially when not backed up by something else like a Kitsune Rush of its own or a Nano Blade. So going to be very hard to get much value out of that unless they can single out a low HP target here, but well,
and Big Guy finds Luce again.
Yeah, the Lucio not able to escape, and
here comes that Blade.
It's late, but it's probably
I can't find it.
Clean
there
up
it is.
kills. Yeah. Oh my god, the Kiriko
Here we
doing
go.
such a good job just zoning.
Pulse Bomb comes out, but beat keeps the Diva from dying right away. But it will not go for long.
At this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen teams pull out some crazy stalls on Oasis, especially with how fast you can get here on Lucio. Pulse Bomb comes out.
I feel like this is gonna be one though.
Yeah, Liquid Duck is not even gonna be able to touch. Big guy just body blocking him.
Yeah. I mean, they had one nice fight. The fight that they won as well, I want to point out Terichu immediately at the pulse bomb from Jonjo. which looked to be what like opened up that fight because they aggressed very heavily off of the back of thinking they were going to land the pulse bomb, Kevin's fan club, but and that's ultimately what kind of lost them once the sustain ran out. They kind of over aggressed, but yeah, I mean, in the end, Kevin's fan club and particularly Carl Weezer, big guy, just being the big guy on campus, just it might not have been university yet, but popping off on Oasis, the Monkey was dominant. And like I said, Monkey does prefer the matchup in that Monkey versus Diva. You are often going to see a good Monkey player win that matchup. But now, more Brawl v Brawl. Tradichu still, though, on the Diva. Going to be able to deny a lot of damage, but not going to be able to quite take space as well as big guy on the Ramatra.
Yeah, and we see Kevin Fan Club just holding down this point, not really letting Koffee Kitties get too much space in here. Just sort of circling around the objective. The guy popping that Nemesis form a little bit early. Koffee Kitties doing a good job of fighting back, although it does look like Diva may die. Oh, and we trade Equal Mage for Liquid Duck, though Equal Mage being down is a little bit more of a threat than Cass.
Yeah, I would agree, but they also lost the Diva mech. I mean, Senpai dropped as well, but you're realistically a baby Diva, your equivalent down to a tank. Big guy hits the I can't even remember what that ability's called, but the E from Ramatra and just drops Equal Mage off the map as they try to come back to regroup. Liquid Duck rolling off for a reset, and once again, I mean, they managed to hold point that whole time. It looked for a moment like they were going to get wrapped on, but in the end, it's Kevin's fan club able to hold out on these long sustained fights.
And once again, ult advantage favoring them. Building these ults a lot faster than the Kitties. Pulse Spawn comes out, finds Liquid Duck very early. They do
gets traded
get
though.
The Tracer, but Annihilation comes out, and that's going to be massive.
Yeah, and trading an Annihilation for a Kitsune Rush in a fight like this is huge, especially with Kameda having Window online. One of the underrated things, parts of Window often, if you're using it as a team rather than just individually for bat value, is its ability to increase your teammates' damage and make them subsequently build their own ults faster. It's really good usage of ult economy if they trade this out. And man, look at the space that big guy's taking here.
Pulse Bomb comes out.
Immo was
goes
already
down.
dead. Yeah, that brawl, what I said earlier, once your flex support is down, that's a huge part of your sustain, huge part of your point presence out. Yeah, it does look like this should be another fight win for the Koffee Kitties' first one of this point, but once again, Admiral, they're winning a fight with 99% point progression in favor of Kevin's fan club.
So now all Kevin Fan Club has to do is build up a few ults, bait out some from the Koffee Kitties, and then go in and just run them down.
Yeah, pretty scary here if you're on the side of Koffee Kitties, because you don't want to invest too much, knowing that ultimately, as you said, Kevin's fan club really just need one fight with all 5 of their ults online, and they can win this objective.
Yeah, but they do have the best ult in the game, Diva Bomb. It finds 6 kills.
Noon as well, and notoriously not great ult. We have seen some value come out of it in the last match in particular, but nothing from Liquid Duck.
They're getting 4 kills here.
Yeah, no kills
the ace
needed,
is stolen.
No ults needed. Equal Mage pops it early, post out, but man, Kevin's fan club not needing to play a fight for the ults, just forcing out the Diva early, looking pretty comfortable and confident here. Prove that they can run the dive or the brawl, so you're only yet to see a poke comp come out from them, but that's about as convincing a first map victory as you're gonna get.
Here's this massive Annihilation that really just sealed the deal.
Yeah, I mean, Annihilation obviously great at cleaning up kills. If you can keep people within your LOS or just within the zone, don't even need them in the LOS. That's what I was going to say. Don't even need line of sight on or physical sight on them as the player, you can just kill low HP targets that are, behind you, like your eyes in the back of your head. And I mean, some of the way that they were playing there did seem like big guy had eyes in the back of the head. They were
It's
quick
true.
and confident on those engages, particularly on the monkey, and really good at zoning out Torichu's Diva and just pummeling damage into them. I mean, both of the heroes they played, the monkey and the Ramatra, very good counters to Diva. Obviously, Ramatra's punches as well as Monkey's zappy electricity. Man, I can tell I haven't casted for a while. I've forgotten
It's
all of the
shocking.
Overwatch ability names. It is shockingly bad, but so is that electricity, and its ability to just completely negate Diva's biggest selling point, which is defense matrix. When you kind of deny defense matrix, Diva's entire ability to just sustain and be annoying and absorb damage entirely goes out the window. You start chunking them down, and yeah, that's what really looked to be winning a lot of these fights for Kevin's fan club. And Coffee Kitties maybe a little bit of a readjust on this next map. Hopefully they can figure something out that will help them break down Kevin's fan club and ultimately slow down the damage from Senpai and Jonjo, and hope that they can then, by doing that, get some more of that burst damage on to Big Guy. Because yeah, so far not looking like there was much pressure on Kevin's fan club on that last map.
No, Coffee Kitties seem to be a very much so favoring dive team, as they do log into Hollywood here. Definitely second point favoring that high ground, even first point favoring that high ground. So I do expect them to run the Diva once again. But hopefully we'll see some more confident plays from them. I do want to see, like, maybe a little bit more emphasis on using ults first. I think they normally use their ults reactively. Even when they use that Kitsune, they didn't use it, to start the fight. Once about halfway through, they were like, we're going to sustain, we're going to, go fast now. But I want to see them make more aggressive plays, especially on dive. You want to make sure that you're getting picks early and going in on the same target together.
Yeah. Still somewhat hesitant of the idea of if they play this Diva again, though. Feel like Kevin's fan club knew pretty well how to deal with it, like I said, with the monkey or the Ramatra, just denying the usage of the defense matrix. But as you said, they picked this map, so clearly they believe they have some level, some kind of advantage or understanding of this map to be able to play into, and will then be interesting to see what that is and if they can potentially catch Kevin's fan club off guard with whatever that strategy is.
I say that, but it does look like both teams are going to run Brawl.
And an exact mirror match of Brawl.
Yeah.
As well. Interesting to see. This, I mean, Hollywood, a map where notoriously Brawl is not played until third point, if at all. And both of these teams have rocked out not just on Brawl, but on a perfect mirror of Brawl.
My brain is hurting from seeing this.
Yeah, no, maybe they know something we don't.
Diamond Hollywood strats?
They are inventing a new meta.
This is Overwatch 1, like, ride meta strat right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean,
run them down fast enough. Anything can work.
Color me interested. Wow. Well, this is a true showing of who can play this comp better.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's chaos. Alright, Calfrin going down, Equal Mage going down. Everyone is just in this tiny little hallway. Both Ramatras just punching.
May for a Lucio, though, that's a pretty good trade if you're...
Yeah, Terry finding Big Guy. But Big Guy's Vortex sticking around after his demise. And this is just back and forth.
Kamida's down.
Oh, but Deuce finds two. Lucio.
Deuce with a deuce. Cleaned up by Torichu.
Yeah, it looks like Coffee Kitties knew what they were doing.
Yeah, okay.
This is the comp. This is the new meta.
This is 100%
I guess.
Overwatch 1 riding comp again. Like, The fight has been crazy.
This is Overwatch 1 Rhine comp chaos, but Rhine's still bad, so we're playing around.
Oh yeah, of course. R.I.P. my big German man.
Yeah, I'm sad. I miss running it down mid on Big German, man. Now I run it down mid on Malgo.
Yeah.
Now, trust me, we don't miss you doing that.
It's not as bad as my monkey, though.
You see a lot of ults online for both teams. That is a May wall of all time. But here comes the
Yeah,
Blizzard,
it's one
and
of the
it's
May
going to
walls.
find one, two.
It
But
found
it's both
Zeus.
supports, so that is the fight. There's not really coming back after that. And that is
Yeah.
all they had to invest, so very solid fight for KFC.
Yeah, played their high ground advantage pretty well. Dropped quickly, hit Blizzard directly in the middle of window, so no one could use it. Got the kills, cleaned it up. It's about as tidy as you can ask for a bro comp on defense here. I'm curious what Coffee. I mean, Coffee Kitties, surely they have to fight for high ground and then
Here
go
comes
and take
the
point.
Annihilation on the high ground. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
just
Annihilation on the
Denied.
low ground. The vortex.
literally running their heads into a metaphorical brick wall here.
Just not even going for the high ground anymore is absolutely crazy. Equal Mage just saying no, this is my high ground. Oh, but then they all drop down into the Annihilation. It's
Annihilation
mirrored,
versus Blizzard.
but
Tarichi
Tari gets
popping
two.
off. Just existing harder.
Who can hold block better?
Yes. The ideal tank gameplay. I'm gonna sit here
Press
and
M2.
absorb damage while the game passively deals damage for me. It works. And,
Window
and
comes
now they're gonna
out
run
from
into a window.
Kamiga.
I mean, the
Feet
wall
comes
denies
out.
window. Overclock from Liquid Duck. Gets
Ooh,
low
almost.
with the Soj contesting them themselves. Who's gonna die first? Immo's used.
gonna be
There's
big
a beat
guy.
online. The big guy's already dead. Surely, Coffee Kitties win this fight. Man,
It does
why
have
weren't
this
they running
Blizzard.
Ram Brawl
It does come
before?
out. It's gonna get one, two. Oh, it's huge.
They popped off. The retake. Senpai.
Oh, and the headshot. There you have it. Senpai with a nasty Blizzard. And it is just, how do we say it? Wooks running away.
It's not looking good.
My, I just captured a screenshot.
That was
Excellent.
bad.
I was gonna make a joke, and then I realized I'm in an NA stream, and no one's gonna understand. It's not looking good, Brev. Because none of you watched the Sidemen to know who Castillo is.
Cricket's chirping. Oh, they get walled and drop down. They're gonna just take the fight to cart, but this high ground advantage could be good for KFC here. Although they will have to drop to contest.
Oh my god, I like their name even more now. The abbreviation is KFC. How did I not know?
Liquid Duck now has this high ground for free. There's no one else up there. It's a really good position to be in if you are...
Yeah, they somehow gave
Coffee
up high
Kitties.
ground, and Liquid Duck still ended up with the high ground advantage.
Liquid Duck was actually still up there and managed to force down John Joe. But unfortunately not really able to do enough from up there. And is just going to have to die.
You gotta
at
get
one
out
point.
of here, bro. That's a heavy stagger. That's not great for Coffee Kitties, because now their Sojourn is going to be quite heavily delayed on the re-engage. And
There's going to
getting
be a
more into the
lot of
gameplay.
ults this fight.
I was just about to say, how many ults, what's the over-under on ults used in this next fight? There's going to
I'm gonna
be
go 7.
at least, yeah, there's looking to be nearly
It's
8
gonna be
online. I think the
completely
over-under
chaos.
needs to be, it's at
Okay,
least
overclock.
6 or 7 over-under.
Overclock goes first.
There's one. It's not getting any kills, but
Oh,
it's pumping
at least it was
damage.
one.
Deuce and Tarichu getting
Okay,
low.
Blizzard comes out from Calfrin.
That's 2.
Annihilation
That's
comes out,
3.
but he gets frozen.
Immediate.
The
Big
Blizzard
guy
is
down.
mirrored.
4, 5,
Wait.
6. We need
Liquid
one
Duck.
more ult to hit the over/under. Doesn't make
Come
might
on,
not need it,
Tari,
though. I
come on,
mean,
Tari.
These teams are even, but it's last fight territory.
Come on,
Just
Tari.
try and
1v5.
reset.
Yeah, there it is.
No, there we go,
And
Tarichu.
V comes
There's the
out.
7.
Will we get
And
the
8 from
overclock from
B.
Liquid Duck? Will we use every ult in this lobby? There it is!
Surely they've got to. I mean, they're coming back, and it's like last fight territory. They just got to get one kill.
Okay,
At least
Sorry gets
there's
one.
Jonjo down, Imo out.
Oh, but Tari goes
Torichu
down.
dies.
And
Big
Big
Guy's
Guy
now-
is now
Big
just
Guy.
uncontested, reigning supreme.
Tank online. We win fight.
And the
Well-
least chaotic Overwatch 2 fight ends
And
with
people
KFC
said
victorious.
Overwatch 1 was hard to follow. Who can't keep track of Overwatch fights? There was only 17 million abilities and literally 8 ultimates used in that fight.
I had somebody tell me that Valorant abilities are more balanced, and I was like, you know how many times they use a Valorant ability in the entire game? It's probably less than an Overwatch in one fight.
Yeah. I mean, the
Overwatch
abilities
is
in
just
Valorant
so
are like...
chaotic. You get like 1 per
Yeah,
round, 2 per round.
You click, yeah, because you click a singular button in Valorant, the ability gets used, and you get a kill off of it, and it's like, well, that's fight turning. Whereas we just saw 8 ults get used to potentially try and win a fight there.
Was it not 9?
And, you know,
I
was
thought
it
the
not?
only one left was Bap Window, but maybe not.
Oh no, it was 9.
It was 9.
it was 9.
It was 9.
It was
I
9.
lost count. Eight's just
And
my
the
lucky
only
number,
reason
you know?
Bap Window didn't come out is because they were killed a little early.
That is, yeah.
They died with like 99%.
Welcome to brawl fights, I guess.
Pure chaos.
Now we're gonna see dive v dive on defense from.
Wait,
Koffee
what
Kitties.
happened?
Brawl is arguably stronger on defense than it is on attack, but you know, dive. So these teams are just like trying to perfectly mirror each other's comps on this map. I just say like, hey, we're dive, we dive better. Hey, we're brawl, we brawl better.
We're
See who
actually
wins.
watching a tryout, and they have set comps.
It's an in-house.
It's an in. Alright, Winston going in, Big Guy on this D.Va. D.Va doesn't really have a whole lot of help. Tari getting forced back.
Yeah, and again, like I said, D.Va not able to stay in the fight and sustain as long as they used to.
Being said,
or
Big Guy
would
might
like to.
fall over. No. No.
Imo keeping them up, and there's the shift, and what? Man, the echo damage is insane. Don't know if it's going to be enough to sustain though. Just Baby D.Va on point, and the echo themselves fighting a seemingly losing battle against the rest of the team.
Some nasty air shots from Kamida there.
Yeah, ultimately winning that fight once again is Kevin's fan club. They took first point pretty comfortably here.
Objective lost.
I don't know if the D.Va is the right pick at the moment. It's gonna be hard. They're gonna really have to rely on hitting stickies from Calfrem on this Echo to just out damage whatever engage that Kevin's fan club go for.
Senpai trying to make a play,
Slow.
getting dangerously low.
Yeah. I mean, poke phase, they do have the Kiriko, Echo, and Ash. Obviously huge in poke. Poke good at denying dive. If
Ooh,
you get
Koffee
poke out
takes down
early,
Big
there
Guy.
there's that damage from the Echo that they needed. That's how you deny the monkey dive on the D.Va. You just get your D.Va to babysit the Echo, and just the Echo pummels out damage. They did, though, lose D.Va mech, which means Torichu gonna have to sit and poke and not be as engaged in the beginning of this next fight. And I feel like that, the way they're playing so far, should be something that Kevin's fan club can take advantage of.
See, this is why Kalfrin is going to duplicate the Winston and become the tank.
The
That is
300
why I
HP.
like Echo. You can just be what the situation calls for.
Yes, but
My tank is
maybe
dead.
you don't need to thank Torichu.
I'm gonna
is
copy
online.
Mercy and resurrect them. Yeah, no. We do see the mech come back for Torichu, and they take down Senpai with it. That
extra
being said, the
boost
cart
to
is
damage?
moving along,
Pretty uncontested.
but it's totally worth it if they can win the fight, and it does look like Koffee Kitties is going to be able to do that. They do have to use the copy.
Not sure that copy was necessary there.
Yeah, Kalfrin didn't want to die, but I'm not sure that their death would have really had that much of an impact there.
I feel like they'd have been, like, with the staggers, right? They'd have been back before Kevin's fan club could have got an actual true engage off. That's a little bit of a fear ult there, something you tend to see in these elos, but you know who didn't use any ults?
Yeah,
Kevin's fan
Kevin
club,
Fan Club
and they
with
now
5.
have 5. Oh, I guess you don't need to use ults. They were getting pretty free point progression, and now they have 5 ults to try and get this last bit of push that they need.
Ooh. Calfrin getting Senpai dangerous, though. They force out that immortality field. A beat comes out, and they use Blade after. Not what you want to see if you were Senpai, but somehow they still managed to take down Calfrin. Kamaida headshots Bob. You know, the best player is down, guys. Always love the turrets.
Aimbot diff.
Turret gets the remake kill.
Bomb and remake kill.
Oh, and the fight could be flipped because of it. Big guy gets one.
They need to melt big guy or deny this sojourn damage. I feel like
now that that bubble is gone, though, he just has to leave.
Yep.
And that's it.
He's dead.
Tarichu getting the massive remake kill that actually saves the fight.
Yeah, and Califron and Liquid Duck now, though, on completely different comps. Liquid Duck on the Sombra, both DPS dead early. They overextended slightly onto that re-engage from Kevin's fan club. Who are now going to try and win a fight entirely without their tank and flex support. Looks slow.
Yeah, Senpai takes down Woods.
Staggers, both DPS are back, but they're low. No supports
and no
online.
supports
Deuce
online.
Is dead. And now Big Guy just gets to do the monkey on point, zap everyone that tries to touch, while the rest of the team does the actual damage. Liquid, TP's on, not enough, and there is second map win for Kevin's fan club, and in the end, it's that monkey versus diva matchup again that just looked to heavily favor Kevin's fan club.
That being said, it was a much closer matchup than the first time, so it does seem that Koffee Kitties rather is figuring themselves out, is sort of learning how to adapt to this. So you know, maybe in this third map they can figure it out. I did like the echo.
The echo damage that was good. They denied a lot more of Big Guy's engages by just pummeling echo sticky and like burst damage into him. That was a good change. They had the Ash that was poking well. To begin with, it was really when they made those swaps in that like overtime fight. Both DPS then felt like they needed to get value out of swapping to Sombra Tracer and got caught out, maybe. But yeah, Koffee Kitties, it was close.
Yeah,
I do feel like the brawl match. I feel like the brawl matchup was closer though. I feel like they should stick if possible, and try and win the brawl matchup. I felt like that was a closer fight.
Yeah, I mean, that last fight was just pure chaos, but before that, they were doing generally a good job of, you know, keeping up tempo-wise and, you know, managing to get the picks and come out alive.
Interesting. Curious to see what map it is. Koffee Kitties pick again. Loser picks.
This is Flashpoint. Oh,
match point and okay.
Wait a minute.
Never mind. Unless we're getting debated and they run Brawl on this dive map, Admiral, I don't think I'm going to see much of the Brawl comp because they've gone to the arguable, apart from maybe last point, most dive heavy map in the game.
Is this not? I don't. Either last map pool was incorrect or this one is. This is Flashpoint, not map 3. One moment. Technical difficulties here.
Just rules and regulations. Is the map available?
Yano, where did you go?
Oh, yes, right. Either we did. Oh, yeah, Flashpoint. Yeah.
It is
now
Flashpoint?
I get what you mean. It's not even the Dorado's not in. It is Flashpoint next map.
Yes, okay.
Yep. King of the Hill, hybrid, Flashpoint, push, escort.
I'm gonna blame it on I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be casting tonight. I was supposed to have a match, so I hadn't read the rule book yet.
I will say this, and people have picked the wrong maps. I've already noticed a few times. So I'm gonna have to make a post to everyone. So hi everyone watching. Make sure you look at the map orders.
Yay!
And there's the swap to Suravasa. The better Flashpoint map, I dare say.
Yeah.
I would agree. I mean, I'm sick and tired of playing it because it's in every map pool and it's the one that gets picked every time, and it's the one I have to scrim the most as well. So I hate that map, but I agree it's the better map of the two.
I will say, so I was looking up stuff like this entire time, not gonna lie. So Kevin Fan Club coming back in this season.
Hmm.
Do you know what their record was last season?
I was told they did well, and that was it.
They went. Wait, I just had up 4-5 last season,
Never mind.
Okay.
and they had a 0 map differential at the end. Now, I want with that. I just want to say that this roster is basically the same roster. The only player who might be different is Senpai. If
Yeah, I
correctly,
don't
but
remember
everyone
that
else-
one when I was thinking of it, but yeah.
Yeah. But everyone else on the team was around last season. And the thing I always love to see with teams coming into this is you see where they're at the previous season and they come in and they're showing improvement over this time. So that is what we always love to see. And you can tell that they've been scrimming together a lot and they've been doing a lot better.
Ready for
Yeah, I mean, they seem to have the coordination down to a T at the moment. Because while we're pointing out the big guy is finding themselves in the kill feed a lot, we got to acknowledge Tank's not doing that much damage. Monkey is a bit of a tickle monster more than anything. So if Monkeys find themselves in the kill feed, it often means that the people that are diving in with them have output the right amount of damage for Monkey to be able to finish off the kill, which generally means there's good team coordination, good target focus, and everything. So yeah, that's a definite sign of improvement to be able to be pulling that out from a team that had a losing record. I mean, it's something the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't ever had under Mike Tomlin. Yeah, sports references were unchanged.
What I would like to see, though, coming to this map is one player, Deuce, on the Lucio, needs to make sure that they play their life a little bit more. I think, especially on this flashpoint, your Lucio is going to be everything.
Yeah, speed is a big part. Talking about speed, running in with the Queen comp is the Koffee Kitties, but they are the team also running into the raw damage of KFC's brawl. Deuce played their life. They were the last one alive, but doesn't really matter if the whole team is dead in that fight. And another clean first team fight win for KFC. What do you think about these team comp matchups here, Admiral?
You know, I really do like the Queen comp. It didn't work that fight, but I do think there's a lot of potential here. If they can just, you know, manage to get in and just outplay them with the speed. Because you have the Lucio plus the Shout. It's just a really fast comp. And apparently we're dying really fast. As you get
It's a really
footage
fast
on
comp.
Joe just obliterating everybody on Sojourn.
Yeah, like everything you said is right. It's a really fast comp. It's a really explosive comp. But what you got to remember is, as a result, it kind of plays more similar to a dive than a brawl. You don't want to just face tank damage and just like ram your head straight in. You want to take some cheeky angles. You want to deny the sight line onto your team as much as possible, and then you almost kind of want to jump scare the enemy team. You want to just appear out of nowhere as quickly as you can and be on all of them immediately. A really nice knife pull though gets big guy.
Oh, the
away from
blizzard's
the rest of
missed!
the team, and
Oh wait, it stays on. I
on
thought the
point.
blizzard was going out the window.
It denies, but can they win this fight? They're down the support of Wux, so the Queen doesn't have as much sustain here. Is going to be face tanking all of that damage, and
Can
yeah,
Calfrin
it's
win the
ultimately
1v2? Wait, actually,
Maida.
Liquid Duck is back. Deuce is back. It's now a 3v3. And
the
it's
pulse
now a
needed to hit for
1v3.
that to win.
Yeah, having that tank alive was just massive for KFC there. Having Big Guy alive still.
Yeah,
makes that
once
very
they got
hard
that
to-
initial pick and they got some point presence, I feel like they needed to just turn around and blow Big Guy up. I think that would have been the potential win condition for Coffee Kitties, but I'm sure that's something they'll look back on later and try and figure out. For now, it's looking on to the next fight, but once again, they're taking a huge amount of poke. They're just kind of running it down mid, and like I said, that's not necessarily what this Queen comp actually wants to be doing.
I do expect we'll see a Kitsune Rush very soon here from Kamaida.
I'm expecting it to be mirrored quickly from Wux. If it
Oh,
does,
you see Beat come out, and
Well-
there's the Kitsune.
does Beat get mirrored? No, because they're in Kitsune. They don't need it. Now it gets mirrored. An equal mage. You always want to be the guy beating second.
And
in
there's
order to
the
have
other
an advantage.
Kitsune.
Well, that's 4 ults in this fight. That should be all that gets used. Nothing else should be needed to clean up. Torichu should acknowledge they're not going to 1v5 this. An equal mage on the Lucio finding the elims. It's the supports in the kill feed. But ultimately it was the support ults that got popped, and the one that really won it was the fact that equal mage was able to hold out a little bit longer. predominantly because they hadn't built beat yet, but I mean, beating second generally does favor your team. It's one of those things where it drops off so quickly you want to be using it second, like with the Mauga E. I mean, you don't want to be using Cardiac too early, you want to be using it second so it lasts a little bit longer, and that's how you win a fight. But another way to win a fight is just getting John Joe to hit shots.
Speed your annihilation into their spawn.
Yep, that's one way to win a fight. And I mean, you're about to be down 2 points. I feel like now you got to just pop ults early in the next one and maybe swap off this comp, because the Queen comp doesn't seem to be working. They're backing that maybe it's going to be a right-sided point here for point 3. They I guess correctly, but is the setup and space going to be enough for Coffee Kitties to win? Not quite sure.
They do have some big ults here. Now, they are going to need to get that Suzu out of the way before they use some of these. So they're going to need to sort of pressure out Kamida. So we'll see if they're able to do that. A big knife onto...
enough damage to get...
Alright, Overclock coming out first from KFC, but gets pulse bombed.
By Kaufman? Huge.
That is a big play, and here comes Liquid Ducks.
Mage low, Kaufman with a second kill, yeah.
And Liquid Duck does take down
coming in,
Kamida.
Liquid, yeah.
And there you have
Okay.
it.
And they didn't even need to use Torichu or Deuce's ults, and the biggest ult that KFC had was John Joe's Overclock, and it was immediately shut down. Now you're looking at just a Blade and a potential Kitsune build-up, but that Kitsune should get mirrored by what? So, man, okay. And now Queen Comp holding space rather than having to take space should be much easier for Coffee Kitties to play here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see how they're able to do it. I think we'll see the Queen ult pretty early. Or maybe the Kitsune, since they do have that online now. There it is. It is mirrored immediately.
And try. I mean,
I
Kamida is just holding this Suzu because their teammates aren't getting low enough to feel like they need to use it.
And
So
Senpai pops the blade.
maybe Torichu needs to just pop this Queen ult, get the Suzu out, and then have someone else from their team do the damage to follow up. Because, yeah, Kamida held Suzu so long there because it just wasn't pressured out of them. And at this point, you're looking at Torichu, who has held Queen ult for like 3 fights here, not getting any value out of it. Could have probably just built another one by now if they'd already used it.
Yeah, it's definitely harmful to use ults later. You know, obviously just chucking it when you get it is not the best play, but you can't just be waiting for the perfect moment. If you can get, you know, 1 or 2 kills, or even just take some space with it, it can be huge. It does force out B, and they do get the kill onto John Joe.
Yeah, they got some good zoning off of it. I mean, it's a pretty even fight. It's support and tank versus support, tank, and Liquid on the DPS, so you'd think it would favor, but no, big guy finds Wux first. There's all of the sustain gone for Coffee Kitties. Torichu trades it back out, though. Kamida down last. Okay. Come on, Coffee Kitties. You've got the advantage here.
Fights.
Shout out, gets them down. They've lost big guy. All they need to do is close the space on the DPS.
If they can get this
they
kill,
get
the
a good
stagger would be
stagger?
huge. Oh,
The
the
slide
slide.
didn't make it out. Yeah.
And that's actually a really
Okay.
good position to
That's
be in, because they
massive.
should take this. They will be up a player, and they have Sojourn Overclock coming into this next point.
Yeah, I mean, look, KFC they're not even going to try.
Yeah,
and fight
they're
this
not
one.
even remotely close. They're already set up for that next objective.
Next flashpoint, temple.
And it
And they
favors
will
them.
get
It's
there
on, it's on
first.
the side they were on. Yeah. KFC going to have the advantage to hold here. And we've seen the big disadvantage for Coffee Kitties so far has been trying to take space on this Ramatra comp. So how well can they get the rotation and deny sightlines? And how well can KFC rotate out and just play around their poke advantage?
Now, which Overclock will be used first?
This ends now.
They will both be used
Mirrored.
at the same time. Some big
Yeah, that
shots.
seemed
But
tactical.
Liquid
Big
Duck does
guy
get run
trading.
down, but gets enough damage that it may be enough. And it looks like
Swaps,
Coffee Kitties
yeah.
will maybe take
Oh.
this.
no
Yes.
Kiriko. I mean, yeah, you've still got the Queen online. That's an advantage. Some form of healing.
And
Both
they
supports
take this
drop
Genji
really
down. Oh, a nice boop from Deuce there.
Yep.
Not letting Senpai out.
Okay, they actually took the space well there. I mean, the damage that came in from Liquid Duck, like you said, was enough that even though they were the first to die, they'd chunked down that HP. And now, once again, holding space, Koffee Kitties seemingly pretty confident about how they can hold this.
And they do have some big ults once again coming up to beat, coming up to Pulse Bomb, and they already have Kitsune, which is used. They do lose Deuce
down,
though.
mirrored Kitsune, Blade,
Oh,
there's the Queen
the
ult,
Queen
but
ult off the
goes.
map. It does a lot
Mage.
of damage, but I'm not sure that it's going to be enough with the tank
Don't
gone.
think so yeah, just the tank diff at this point in terms of just having one on the objective is massive. I'm not. It went down as a boot kill. I think.
I don't know that
Queen
that
ult went
really
too far.
was. Yeah, I think the Queen ult just took her off the map.
Unfortunate.
Ult advantage now favoring KFC here. But Koffee Kitties with a little bit more percentage, so if they can win this fight, it would be big. Or if they can lose this fight fast, it could be big. Coffee Kitties
Well, they're gonna
investing
look to
the
try and
beat.
win it.
If they can get this Lucio, it could be huge. Equal Mage going down,
Nice.
forcing out Annihilation. Oh, and the
Don't
Genji
look.
down to 1 HP. Senpai going down. This is
Face,
where you want to
nice.
be.
John
Joe
looks
very
confused,
low.
So no more of that.
And Liquid Duck
speed.
gets the shot.
I mean, the Ram's existing, but I think in the end it's going to be a lost fight for KFC.
Now,
Gotta kill that
Equal Mage
Kiriko.
is
There
back,
we go.
but it should not matter.
No, I mean, surely Big Guy doesn't get a kill out of this. They're down there, Kiriko. It's
Yeah,
just them and a
there's-
Lucio
that's
on
it.
point. Yeah.
Now the question is, do they get the next fight here? Does Big Guy come back in time? No, he should have the Lucio speed, so he will be there.
He should. Yeah. It's going to be close, though. I mean, it's going to be like a staggered...
If
like,
Coffee
borderline
Kitties
staggered
pushes
last
up right
fight.
now and takes the fight forward, it
They need
could
to take
maybe
space.
deny it, but it looks like they're
No, I
just
don't
going to
think
wait
they
on
know.
point. Now,
And
if
now
they
they're
can
gonna
get
play into
maybe
a
a
beat.
boop, they do boop Deuce away, and Beat comes out
There's a
fast.
May...
John Joe
Noon.
using the
Oh my god, that's
Deadeye,
going to be a huge amount of zoning here, though.
and they're just going to
So
get
he
the
can
points.
just keep moving and wrap.
Deuce gets the
No
touch.
kills,
Kitsune
clean
comes
flow.
out. A lot of ults online for Coffee Kitties. Gets the stick. It gets Suzu'd, but there's no Suzu, no ice block. Kitsune is mirrored.
Yeah, and they're going to have the Kitsune
And the
last.
kills
It's
trading in
online on
DPS for
point.
DPS, but Terry goes down. And that will seal the deal, and KFC will take map 3. That being said, I did like what I saw from Coffee Kitties. They got, you know, a little bit closer every round. So, you know, that's good to see for the future. That maybe
Yeah,
with a
exactly.
little work, they can just, you know, beat them the next time they play.
It's exactly like Ryan said. Stuff like that, seeing the adaptation, seeing the improvement is what you want to see. That's more so what a tournament like this is for. This is kind of a, you know, this is the elo of player development in Overwatch. This is Plat Diamond. So you're expecting to see some mistakes, some chinks in the armor, and then hopefully some growth and development from the players. So having some easily fixable mistakes, I'm sure their coach is going to love working on them in the next VOD, and hopefully the players stick to it, learn from it, and yeah, work on those adjustments and are able to take advantage of it in their next match. And for Kevin's fan club, you gotta make sure you're tightening up some of those little minor mistakes that left some openings, and then continuing to play to your strengths.
Yeah. And Yano, I know you weren't here the first time, so how about you give the golden hammer? Where does it go? For Kevin Fan Club.
Ooh, for Kevin Fan Club, let's see. All right. So that's actually, I'll be honest, it's actually kind of hard because I think every single player, Big Guy definitely had major impacts on the first map. I think Senpai had major impacts on the second map. And honestly, as weird as it sounds, I think Equal Mage had very good beats, especially on that last map. So it's actually very, very difficult. Same thing. Sorry, John Joe, you also did good. Kamid also did good. I honestly think coming into this, I'm actually gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Potter John Joe. And the reason for this is I feel like a lot of times when the fights were beginning to be start or when the right before the fights even started, John Joe was getting that initial pickoff that was allowing the entire team to go in and play as aggressive as they can. They were able to live on their own. They kind of took over their own land themselves and were able to survive most of the fights. So honestly, I think they're gonna get the golden hammer from me. Good old Potter John Joe.
All right, yeah, that works for
Mhm.
me.
I like the reasoning.
Yeah.
They were the initiator. I said a lot of what looked like Carl Weezer, big guy, popping off, particularly on like the monkey, for example, as you kind of pointed out, was off the back of good initiations from their dive, from their tracer in John Joe. Um, so yeah, I can completely understand that they were consistent throughout all of the maps, whether they were getting picks or just setting up the damage and being a distraction. Um, so yeah, I like that pick. And as you said, the whole rest of the team had their moments for sure. They all played very well, and they looked to have, as you said, built some great synergy coming back from the slight disappointment of last season.
Yeah, no, and Kevin Fan Club actually does not have their full starting roster today, so I am interested to see what they can do, when they have all of their players. As Kamida is actually a DPS player, normally they do have Frost on their support.
Oh, so equal, yeah. Looking at that, equal mage off rolling onto main support, and then Kamida DPS. Maybe that's why they look to play as aggressively as they did on some of those maps, because trying to take advantage of having a DPS player and DPS aim on that flex support role. Maybe not going to know the positioning to keep themselves alive as much, but maybe going to hit some more shots to allow you to play a bit more aggressively.
All right, and that will just about do it for our stream here tonight. If any of you have anything else to add, if
I
not,
don't think
then
so. Other than that was a good set of streamed matches to start off week one of season 7.
yeah. And Yana, do you have something to add?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I'm glad already seeing how some of these matches, at least the ones I've seen, things have been really close, and I think this. I say this every single year. I think this is going to be one of the best seasons coming out, but this one having 16 diamond teams all competing in two divisions, getting ones on top. I feel like this is going to be probably the closest season. There's not one team so far that is like way out and beyond that I've noticed, and it's making me excited to see the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the matches that I've seen so far, and based on what I've seen from even the match reports from other teams, everything seems to be pretty close. And yeah, with 16 teams, it will be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, that will do it for our stream here today. Thank you everybody for coming, and we hope to see you in the future.
Peace out.